Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English with Shadowing, the podcast, the place where we don't just learn English, we live it. Here, you will practice real English the right way, slowly, clearly, and with confidence. In each episode, you'll listen, repeat, and connect English to your daily life. No fast talking, no long grammar rules. Just real phrases, real examples, and real progress. We use a powerful method called shadowing. That means you hear a sentence and then you speak it out loud with me. Just like singing along to a song, you train your brain and your mouth at the same time. It builds your fluency, your memory, and your speaking rhythm naturally. So, if you're tired of forgetting words, feeling nervous when you speak, or stuck in your vocabulary, this is the place for you. Now, get ready, relax your mind, and let's grow your English. One sentence at a time. Part 1. The announcement. It was just another Thursday morning when Hannah's inbox chimed with the message that would change everything. Subject: End of year promotions. Announcement from HR department to all staff time, 8:02 a.m. The email wasn't unexpected. The company had been buzzing about promotions for weeks. Whispers in the break room, late night Slack threads, coffee shop predictions. Hannah had heard them all and quietly hoped. She had stayed late more times than she could count. She had rewritten policy manuals, coordinated onboarding for 3 departments, and served as the unofficial problem solver whenever things broke down between teams. Her manager, Lisa, had called her the glue that keeps admin together. So, yes, she hoped. She opened the email. Congratulations to the following employees on their well-deserved promotions for Q4. She scanned the list. Rajiv Menon, Product Anna Thompson, Design, Charles Wu, Engineering Mia Gomez, HR Kevin Ngo, Admin. Then she read it again. Then a third time. Her name wasn't there. 8:05 a.m. At her desk, Hannah stared at her monitor. The usual morning noises buzzed around her. The click of keyboards, printers warming up, the distant hum of the coffee machine. Jason, who sat 2 desks down, swiveled his chair around. Did you see the list? She nodded. Rajiv got it. Huh? Yeah. You? She shook her head. Nope. Jason raised his eyebrows. Really? She tried to smile. Guess next quarter. But her throat tightened. A year in review. The rest of the morning passed in a blur of scheduled emails and automated approvals. But Hannah's mind wasn't focused. She kept thinking about the past 12 months, running point on the office relocation project, organizing the company's biggest all-hands event, stepping in when Lisa was out for medical leave, twice mediating tension between facilities and IT over shared storage, mentoring 2 interns over the summer. She wasn't flashy. She didn't post on Slack threads with lots of emojis. She didn't present at town halls. But she showed up. She delivered. She cleaned up behind the scenes so others could shine. And now, she felt invisible. Coffee with Mia. At 10:45, Hannah needed air. She grabbed her mug and walked downstairs to the building cafe. Mia from HR was in line, holding her phone and typing with one thumb. When she saw Hannah, she lit up. Oh my gosh, Hannah. I meant to tell you, your support during onboarding this quarter? Seriously, life-saving. Hannah smiled politely. Thanks, Mia. You good? Yeah, just tired, I guess. Mia gave her a look. This about the email? Hannah hesitated. Mia continued, voice low. You weren't on the list, I noticed. Hannah nodded. For what it's worth, Mia said, you're on a lot of people's deserves more list. Hannah laughed, but not from joy. That's the thing. I don't want to be on the should've list. I want to be seen. A message from Lisa. At 1:15 p.m., a Slack notification popped up. Lisa. Hey, Hannah, do you have 15 mins to talk this afternoon? Around 2:30? Hannah. Sure. She stared at the screen. Lisa wasn't just her manager. She was someone Hannah genuinely respected. They'd worked closely for years, and their conversations were always candid. Still, Hannah felt her stomach twist. 2:30 p.m. The talk. Lisa's office was quiet, her usual coffee mug steaming beside her laptop. Come in, she said, waving Hannah to a chair. Hey, Hannah said softly. Lisa leaned forward. I want to talk to you about the promotion list. There it was. Hannah nodded, trying to keep her expression neutral. You're not on it, Lisa said. I know you know that. And I want you to know. It wasn't because I didn't advocate for you. Hannah's eyebrows lifted slightly. Actually, Lisa said, I fought hard for your name to be there. Then why wasn't it? Hannah asked. Her voice didn't shake, but it felt tight in her throat. Lisa paused. Because when the senior review panel looked across the teams, they asked for evidence, not just of strong performance, but of visible leadership, project ownership, cross-functional impact. Hannah blinked. But I've led 3 major projects this year. I know, Lisa said. I know exactly what you've done. But the hard truth is, you do it quietly. You don't present. You don't advocate. You don't claim it. After the meeting, Hannah walked out of Lisa's office and headed for the stairwell. She didn't want to cry. She didn't feel angry. But there was a strange ache in her chest, a kind of sadness she couldn't explain. Was it unfair? Maybe. Was it true? Also, maybe. She'd always believed hard work spoke for itself, that if you delivered, people would notice, that the job was to serve the team, not promote yourself. But now, she wasn't so sure. That evening. At home that night, Hannah opened her personal notebook, the one she used to reflect, not plan. She wrote, I'm not sure what hurts more, being overlooked or realizing I helped myself disappear. Maybe it's time to stop just doing the work and start owning it. If I want to grow, I have to speak, not just perform. She closed the book. Not finished, but starting. Part 2, the feedback. Friday morning. Rain again. Hannah stood by the window next to her desk, holding a mug of lukewarm green tea. Outside, the city was blurred and gray. Inside, her mind was clearer than it had been all week. She opened a new Slack message and began typing. Hi, Alton. Do you have 10 minutes next week for a quick chat? Would love to get your feedback on how our teams collaborate. Hannah. She hit send. Then she messaged 2 more people. Hey, Maya. Curious if you'd be open to a short chat. Just hoping to understand how we can work better across teams. Priya. Would love your honest take on how I show up at work. What am I doing well? What should I do differently? She didn't overthink. She didn't wait. For the first time in a long time, she was actively asking for feedback. Monday. The first conversation. At 10 a.m., Hannah sat across from Alton in a glass-walled meeting room. The designer looked surprised but curious. I wasn't expecting this, he admitted. You asking me for feedback? Hannah smiled. I'm trying to grow, and I've realized I can't do that if I don't know how I'm being perceived. Alton nodded. Okay, honesty, please. You're reliable. You always get stuff done. But sometimes I forget you're in the room. Hannah blinked, What do you mean? You don't speak unless someone asks you directly, even when you know more than half the people in the meeting. It wasn't said with judgment, just observation. You're like a shadow, Alton added. Useful, quiet, but easy to miss. The pattern. The same message came in different words from everyone she talked to. Maya said, "You're the one I trust to fix things." "But you don't claim credit." Priya said, "You manage chaos, but you don't communicate what you're managing." Sarah from Content said, "Honestly, I thought you didn't care about strategy because you never jumped into those conversations." None of it was cruel. All of it was true. Hannah had built a reputation for being dependable, but not visible, not vocal, not strategic. And in a world where visibility and voice mattered, that was a problem. Reflection. That evening, Hannah sat at her kitchen table with a notebook. Again, she wrote, "I've been doing the work, but not naming it. Helping others, but not showing what I'm building. Leadership isn't just responsibility, it's visibility. It's clarity, it's voice. Time to change how I show up." The unexpected call. The next morning, Lisa called. "I've got something for you," she said. "But it comes with pressure." Hannah sat up straighter. "Okay, there's a cross-department pilot launching next week. It's messy, high stakes, and overdue." "What's the topic?" "Process review for the internal ticketing system. Admin, IT, and support all hate each other right now." Lisa said bluntly, "We need someone neutral, trusted, and smart to run the working group." Hannah was silent. "It's not glamorous," Lisa added, "but it's real, and it's visible." Hannah exhaled. "I'll do it." The first working group, Wednesday, 2 p.m., 7 people, 3 departments, 1 overstuffed agenda. It was frustrated with non-technical requests. Support felt ignored. Admin wanted everything tracked and time-stamped. Hannah stood at the front of the room with a whiteboard marker in hand. "Let's start by mapping what actually happens from request to resolution," she said. "No finger-pointing, just process." There were interruptions, some tension, a little sarcasm. But she held the room. She asked for clarity. She repeated back what people said, without bias. She didn't solve everything, but she made space for solutions to begin. After the meeting, someone from support muttered to their teammate, "She should have been doing this months ago." Hannah heard it and smiled to herself. A message from Dan. That evening, her inbox chimed. Subject, heard good things from Daniel Reed. Hannah Lahai Hannah. I heard from Lisa and a few others that your cross-team session today went well. Appreciate you stepping in. These aren't easy to run. Let me know if you need anything from leadership to support the project. Dan. She read it twice, then hit reply. Thanks, Dan. We'll keep you posted as things develop. Appreciate the trust. Hannah Friday. Lisa checks. And Lisa stopped by Hannah's desk just before lunch. "You've got momentum," she said simply. Hannah smiled. "I'm trying." Lisa nodded. "Now's the time to use it. Speak up. Stake your claim. Don't wait for another list." That weekend, Hannah didn't go out that Saturday. She sat in her apartment, reworking the shared project document from the pilot meeting. She renamed it Internal Ticketing Review, Cross-Team Recommendations. But this time, she added a front page. Project Lead, Hannah Summary. This working document is part of a 3-phase recommendation plan to improve cross-departmental ticket resolution. Her name was at the top. For the first time, she put it there. Part 3. owning the table. By the second week of the pilot project, Hannah realized something. This wasn't just about improving ticketing workflows, it was about trust. Each department had their own story. Support thought IT was slow. IT thought admin was disorganized. Admin thought nobody listened. And all of them thought nothing ever changes. Hannah's job wasn't to fix the system alone. It was to build a reason for people to believe change was possible. Week 2, the roadmap session. Today, I'm not here to present answers, Hannah told the room. I'm here to co-create the next phase with all of you. The whiteboard behind her was blank, on purpose. She handed out markers. We're going to map what the ideal request process would look like, step by step, together. At first, there was silence. Then, Alton from design stood up. I'll draw the first box, he said, requests submitted. One by one, people joined in. They argued a bit, laughed once, drew ugly arrows, crossed things out, added sticky notes. By the end of 30 minutes, the board was filled, and so was the energy in the room, breaking the silence. Later that week, during a cross-team Zoom call, someone from IT raised a question about response times. The call went quiet. Hannah unmuted. Can I ask something? She said. What does response time mean to you? There was a pause. Then someone answered, and suddenly a real conversation began. People shared expectations, frustrations, and gaps in understanding. By the end, the group had agreed to define response time clearly and to document it in the new protocol draft. After the call, Hannah got a private message from Maya. You handled that like a champ. That could have gone sideways. Thanks, Hannah typed, still learning to speak up faster. Data and decisions. At the end of week 3, Hannah shared the group's first findings at the department head's sync. She didn't use fancy slides, just a clean Google Doc. 3 bullets. Average ticket confusion point. Step 2, ownership. SLA expectations are undefined across teams. Everyone wants better tracking, but no one wants to maintain it. I'm not here with a perfect solution, she said to the directors, but I am here with patterns, and patterns are where improvement starts. One of the directors nodded. Dan, who was also on the call, unmuted. Hannah, thanks for distilling this so clearly. That's exactly what we need. Her heart thumped. But she stayed steady. Self-talk. That night, walking home in the cool evening, Hannah smiled to herself. A few months ago, the idea of speaking to directors made her stomach flip. Now, she still felt nervous, but not afraid. She wasn't performing. She was participating. She was contributing. And people were listening. A message from HR midweek. A new email arrived from Amanda in HR. Subject, internal recognition. Spotlight nomination. Hi, Hannah. Just letting you know. Someone anonymously nominated you for the monthly staff spotlight for your cross-team leadership. Would you be comfortable if we included a short quote from you in the internal newsletter? Something about your approach to collaboration? Best. Amanda Hannah blinked, then typed, Of course. Here's a sentence that feels honest. Collaboration isn't about solving things alone. It's about listening long enough to see what others already know. Amanda replied with the emoji. Final working group. At the last pilot meeting, Hannah stood in front of the team. We've made real progress, she said, and I want to name that out loud. She pointed to the board where they had tracked updates across 3 weeks. 37 process changes suggested. 15 agreed upon. 7 implemented already. People clapped softly, someone whistled. Then Hannah did something she hadn't done before. She paused. I also want to say thank you. You've trusted me. You've challenged me. You've taught me to speak louder, not just for myself, but for what we're building together. For a moment, the room was quiet. Then someone said, let's keep doing this. And just like that, the pilot became something more. A Friday walk. That Friday evening, Hannah and Lisa walked to the cafe near the office. You've changed, Lisa said, sipping her drink. Hannah raised an eyebrow. That a good thing? Lisa smiled. You used to wait to be noticed. Now you own the room. Hannah laughed. Still working on it. Good, Lisa said. Keep working. People notice. And more importantly, you notice yourself now. Closing the week back at her desk, Hannah opened a draft she'd been working on for the internal knowledge base. Title: Shared Systems. Shared Success. Subtitle: How Clear Ownership Builds Better Collaboration. But this time, she added a byline. By Hannah Lee, Cross-Functional Project Lead. And this time, she didn't delete it. Part 4. The Choice. 2 months had passed since the pilot project ended. The new process was officially adopted. Ticket resolution time dropped by 28%. And something else happened. People started coming to Hannah with ideas, not just issues. She wasn't just part of the system anymore. She was shaping it. The big meeting. On a rainy Tuesday morning, Dan called an all-team meeting. Everyone expected an update on Q2 priorities. But instead, Dan announced something different. We're creating a new role, he said. Operations strategist. Someone who connects admin, support, IT, and other internal teams. Heads turned, eyebrows raised. Dan continued, it'll be open for internal applicants. But I'll say this. It was inspired by what we saw during the ticketing project. Hannah stared at the screen. Her heart was calm. Her mind wasn't. The invitation. That afternoon, Amanda from HR stopped by Hannah's desk. Hey, Amanda said, want to grab a tea? 15 minutes later, they were sitting by the window in the cafe across the street. I'll be direct, Amanda said. We want you to apply for the role. You're already doing 80% of it. Hannah smiled. That's a lot. It's a promotion, a big one, different track, new title, more influence, higher visibility. And then Amanda added gently, it's also more public, more cross-functional leadership, more presenting, more politics. Hannah stirred her tea. I'm not saying say yes right now, Amanda said. Just think about it. The weekend of thinking. That weekend, Hannah didn't talk to anyone about it. She just listened. She went for a long walk. She sat at her favorite bookstore cafe. She pulled out her notebook, and she asked herself, do I want this because it's mine to grow into or because it proves something? Then she wrote, I didn't do the project to get noticed. I did it because it mattered. I liked who I was when I led it. But I also like quiet and focus and depth over visibility. I don't want a louder life. I want a more honest one. The application. On Monday morning, Hannah opened the internal portal. She saw her name at the top of the application form, auto-filled. She stared at it for a long moment. Then, instead of clicking Apply, she clicked Message and wrote, Hi, Dan. Thank you for the trust and the opportunity. I've thought a lot about this role, and while I'm honored, I've decided not to apply. I've found clarity about how I want to grow. I want to keep building systems, but I want to do it quietly deeply and intentionally through operations, not strategy. I hope to continue making an impact from where I am. With gratitude, Hannah She hit send and leaned back in her chair. The reply. A few hours later, Dan replied, Hannah, I respect your choice deeply. In a world that pushes everyone to climb upward, it takes maturity to choose your direction thoughtfully. Just know this: leadership isn't about the title, it's about the clarity and courage to shape things for the better. And you already do that. Dan. The new list. The following week, HR released the new promotion list. Hannah didn't expect to be on it. She wasn't even thinking about it anymore. But there it was. Promoted to Senior Operations Coordinator. Hannah LaFour, Excellence in Systems Building, Cross-Team Leadership, and Process Ownership. Her inbox filled with Slack reactions. But Hannah didn't cry, didn't cheer. She just smiled and got back to work. The final notebook entry. Later that night, she wrote one last page in her journal. I didn't make the list the first time, and that taught me how to make myself visible. But in the end, it wasn't about the list. It was about learning to speak when I needed to, listening when it mattered, and choosing my voice on my own terms. She closed the notebook. No fanfare, no spotlight, just quiet strength. And that's it for today's practice. You didn't just listen. You spoke, you felt, and you connected with real English. If you enjoyed this session, don't forget to come back tomorrow. We'll have more powerful words, real-life sentences, and simple steps to help you speak English fluently and naturally. Remember, the more you listen, the more you repeat, the more you live with English, the more confident you become. So keep going. You're doing great. And I'll see you again in the next episode, right here on English with Shadowing, the podcast. Until then, keep speaking, keep learning, keep believing.